Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, if you are looking to break free from merely getting by and embrace a life filled with purpose, you are in the right place because we are joined once again by Lucia Dramat, who is here to share her insights on how to do just that. Thanks for joining us again.
I'm so happy to be here.
Now we're getting practical with it.
Yes.
You have 5 tips on the best ways in which we can embrace and thrive in life and not just survive. What would those be? Where do we start this conversation?
I think when it comes to thriving, flourishing, prosperity, then obviously it starts with goals.
Yeah.
So setting meaningful goals, and it's not just goals that is accepted by society, but goals that are meaningful to you. There are so many motivations behind what is your motive for your goal. So goals that mean something important to you, whether it be family, whether in the workplace, whether it is your health goals, set those goals, write it down, and so that you can work toward it.
Now, I can only imagine your mental space is critical during this because you cannot have negative self-talk. So how important is having a positive mindset?
Oh, yes, definitely. That's number 2, cultivating a positive mindset. And so some people say, but how? There's just so much negativity around me. You have to make sure that you're aware of your self-talk. You can't change something if you don't have the awareness. So start listening to your thinking. Why are you fearful? Why are you in a bad mood? Those things will indicate what you were thinking. And so how you can shift your thinking is gratitude, adding more gratitude, having a gratitude journal. And then often I give people exercises like this. Instead of saying, I have to, you replace it with, I get to. Yes.
Girl, I've implemented that in my life and it has changed so much.
Fantastic. So I'm glad you have a testimony with that.
Yeah.
Because it is so powerful saying, I have to go to work. Oh, I get to go to work. And just shifting that makes those little perspective shifts in your mind that make you feel more positive. And when you're feeling better, you show up better in life.
You know, for myself, I find I'm a worrier and I'm an overthinker. And I have now also implemented something that's really been truly pivotal for myself and pivotal in how I present myself to the world.
Yes.
Instead of sitting by and thinking of all the stressful things, the things I worry about, the things that right in this moment I actually can't change. So I have a little bit of a practice that I do, and do it with me at home. Take any issue that is in your mind, whether you overloaded at work, whether the family is just overwhelming you or you're overstimulated. I say to myself, can I change anything about it right now in this moment? If I can, I do it in that moment. But if I can't, how is it going to help me stressing about it? Because that's going to add to whatever I am going through and continue to sink me further down. So a positive mindset and a positive mind frame is absolutely pivotal. Another conversation that I'm only starting to get used to. How important is prioritizing self-care and, of course, managing those stress levels?
You know, we are busier than we've ever been in our entire lives. 30, 40 years ago, you used to go to work. When you leave work, you drive home, you get home, you hang out with the kids. There was no social media. There was no constant news, emails, WhatsApps, all these things, all hours of the day and night. So it is really important that we actually prioritize self-care, because if we don't make the time for it, my goodness, there's no time in 24 hours. There's no time. So putting in that activity, physical activity, working out, exercising, taking that 15 minutes to journal quickly, to write down some goals for the day, to whatever's bothering you, put that on a journal so you don't have to keep rehashing it. You've written it down, you can let it go. So doing those little things that make you feel good, that also make sure that you are filling your own cup, those are the things that's going to set you apart each and every day. And like with working out, sometimes in the moment you don't see what the difference is. But when you have heavy lifting to do, you have to go up that flight of stairs. Now you realize, oh, I used to struggle up the stairs. Now I don't. I used to struggle lifting these weights, these shopping bags, these whatever. Now I don't.
It's a breeze.
Yes, it's only when you actually have heavy lifting to do that you see what a difference taking that personal time, working on your mindset actually makes in your life.
You know, filling your cup is something that a lot of us overlook the benefits of. We kind of, as you say, I don't have time is just a common statement, I think, in so many households. And not only doing it once, not only doing it every Sunday, but the discipline of continuously filling your cup.
Yes.
That discipline is something that I also lack, the consistency of it. How important is being consistent with it?
Oh, that is so important. But I think what we need to realize is we think when we make a change, it's going to be so painful and so horrible. Oh, change is the worst. We don't think about the benefits of change. We think about the challenges of change.
Yes.
But if you start to shift your perspective and you think about the benefits of the change, how good you are going to feel, and also how your mindset and your lifestyle changes, things become easier for you. In the beginning, it's difficult. You're pushing,
It's a reminder.
you're pushing. But once you get that boulder rolling, the momentum is there and you don't have to push that hard. It all becomes natural. Before, you may have to sit down for 15 minutes and try really hard to concentrate. But later, you do it casually in the car without even meaning to do it. So it becomes easier, and focus on how easy it becomes and the benefits of the change. And then that constant struggle will start to subside.
Now, you can't do it alone.
No,
They
you
say
cannot.
it takes a village. So on days that you can't push that boulder by yourself, on days where you're not feeling that momentum kind of kicking in, how important is building a meaningful and supportive network?
Oh, this is so important. And so for the last 2 points, point 4 being, get a supportive network. And I want to say this because I often find that we find comfort with people that we've known for a long time. And sometimes those very people that we find comfort with don't help us to thrive. So we need to get ourselves into different spaces. So maybe signing up for the class or joining the business club or the fitness club is going to help you actually thrive where you've set goals to thrive. And so, yes, our comfort zone might not always be the zone where we also thrive. So get around supportive people. Get around people that's going to encourage you in your areas of your goals and where you want to see progress and growth, because otherwise you'll stay in the same place with the same conversations and the same people forever.
Yeah, a mouthful, so much to kind of absorb and bring in. But for myself, I also see the same thing, you know, in whatever field I want to be better. Like, I need to start reading again. I need to join a book club, because if I still stay at home where everyone is just on their phones, I will never be able to achieve that. So thank you so much for just highlighting that importance of building a supportive network. And as you do build a supportive network and you expose yourself to different things, it also encourages continuous learning.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mentioned this earlier as well. Usually when people are frustrated, it's because they are not learning anything, because they are not growing in an area of their lives. It is completely natural for us as humans to continually grow. You've been doing it since you were born. You learned to crawl, walk, jump, run, and then all the subjects you learned at school. And then as you become an adult, you're now learning to cope with your life and expand in your career and all these different areas. Even in relationships, as a parent, you're always growing. And so once you become stagnant, it doesn't feel good. You feel frustrated, even if you feel like, oh, I just needed a break. But after a while, that break, something's not going well. It gets muddy. So keep learning, keep growing. It keeps you excited, and it also keeps that wonderful life alive. You know, when you start traveling, you're like, wow, this is amazing. And I never knew they do things like this here. And you explore people's foods and you learn so much about them, and it gets you excited about life. As you start exploring different subjects, it keeps your wonder alive. And so if you want life to be exciting for you, keep learning, keep growing.
Absolutely. Lucia, you've done it again. You have motivated me to step into this next phase of life with a new excitement, with new wonder, and wanting to truly thrive in everything I put my hands on. I always say, may everything I touch turn to gold.
We love it.
Thank you so much. What an enlightening conversation we've had with Lucia today. Now, we hope that you feel as inspired as we do to make positive changes. Now, after the break, we unpack the benefits of energy efficiency in the home. See you in a bit.